looking at your work most of the time, one could say, she's tapped into the dark side. So have you had such conversations? Because, most of us look at it like, in the name of Jesus, we're not doing that right now.
My work is from God. Like basically everything, the dark side, the sweet side, the crazy side, all comes from God. I've had conversations with people and they're like, girl,
You really tapped into the dark side.
yes.
Yeah.
There's even one of my family friends who said, this is demonic. We rebuke it in the name of Jesus. But for me, I believe it is God sent.
My name is Turife and welcome to the show. Now, I know it's not spooky season, but the person joining us today kind of recreates everything you would think of. You see that zombie you see in a movie, or that very grotesque scars you see people playing. It's not real. Hakonge mekato na panga for real. It's just special effects makeup. And a specialist in that area has joined us today, Victorious Joyous, yes?
Joyful.
Joyful.
Yes.
Victorious Joyful. As in, you can tell she's a last born. Anyway, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
My name is Victorious Joyful Mketha. I'm a special effects artist, but my educational background is in criminology and security management, as well as masters in diplomacy and foreign policy.
Okay.
Yes.
Look at you. You have your school bag on and here another bag going on. So what inspired now this transition? You have an educational background in criminology and a master's in?
Diplomacy and foreign policy.
So now how do you transition that to now doing special effects makeup?
Passion. I used to work in the corporate world, but this pays more.
This pays more.
Yes, and it gives me time to just express myself and just stay in my creative element. Yeah.
It brings you joy.
It brings me joy.
And that's all we want. Joy is joyful now with what she does in this passion project. So how exactly did you start and how long have you been doing this?
I started during the COVID lockdown.
A lot was inspired during that time.
Yes, no more bride's makeup, mother of the bride and mother to be glam. I later on stopped for some time when I went back to do my master's, but I officially started Glorious Beauty 2 years ago. Yes.
Okay. And is it something that you had always known that one day I will take my creative side? I feel like with kids who grew up in an African household, the push is usually for stability first. Your parents will push you to do your degree, have your master's. As long as your education is good, you can fall back on something, then you can pursue your passion project. Was that the same for you, or have they always been supportive?
I'm from a creative household. Everyone in my family sings. And I'm the one who has the most talent, though.
Okay, no brag, humble brag.
Yes, so the dream Gloria started when I was, I think, around 13 years. But I wanted to start the company as a design company. Because my first love was fashion. I sketch and recreate fashion clothes. But I later on decided that makeup is a route to be. Yeah.
Okay. And now take us through like a typical day, because I'm thinking with the kind of makeup you specialized in, the niche is very specific. So we are thinking movies, films, people who want to do something creative. So now take us through a typical day in your life.
I usually have 2 to 3 bookings a day maximum, because it takes a lot of time and creativeness to create something. So if I'm going for a fast booking, let's say for example a model who wants a creative look, so I'll go to the set up my things. Sometimes I create mood boards, sometimes I just wing it. Yeah. It depends on what we have agreed on with the client. If the client wants something spooky, I'll deliver. Yes.
Okay. And looking at your work most of the time, you know, one could say, she's tapped into the dark side. So have you had such conversations? Because, you know, most of us will look at it like, in the name of Jesus, we're not doing that right now. Some of them can be really, you know, it brings out, there's a certain energy to it. So what has been the feedback when you're showing people, this is what I do, it's really creative?
First of all, I'm a Christian, and a very spiritual Christian at that. And I believe that my work is from God. Like basically everything, the dark side, the sweet side, the crazy side, all comes from God. I've had conversations with people and they're like, girl,
you really tapped into the dark side.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's even one of my family friends who said, this is demonic. We rebuke it in the name of Jesus. But for me, I believe it is God sent, because I did not go to any school to learn any of these techniques. It might sound crazy, but I usually get dreams and visions of my creations. I can just stand here and get a flash of what I should recreate. Yes. And besides, I love horror movies because I know it's not real.
Because you know it's not real. Because you know you can recreate whatever is happening.
Yeah, it's just special effects, nothing much. Yeah.
Okay. But it does tell a story, a dark one, all the... But we won't go there.
Every artist has a dark side.
True.
Most people suppress it, but I embrace it because there is beauty in everything. There is beauty in the scary, in the cemetery, in the unknown. There's beauty in everything in general.
Awesome.
Yes.
And earlier on you had mentioned how, you know, you weighed the options between pursuing a corporate career and doing what you do now, and you realize this makes more money.
Yes.
So if you don't mind, maybe you can like give us like an example of what it would cost to do one special effects look on one person.
It's a bit expensive because I import most of the products I use, and the ones I buy locally are quite expensive. So it depends. The latex costs about 4,500. Silicone, just crazy prices. So let's say around a small look, around 10,000.
Wow, for one person.
Yes.
And she did say, as in remember the math, she did say she has 2 to 3 clients per day. So now you can do the math from there. we are calculating. But you have been in the industry for quite a minute. It's been 2 years of you teaching yourself how to do this and turning this passion project into something you can sustainably live off of.
Yes.
What would you say have been the defining moments, or, you know, when you felt so fulfilled about your work? What makes your work so fulfilling for you?
The transitions. I don't remain stagnant. I move. I change, like from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Every season, different me, different person. Because if there's no movement, you'll die.
True.
Yeah, in every industry that is. You have to better yourself. You have to keep on pushing and setting higher bars. And I still think I'm not perfect. I'm aiming higher. Yes.
Okay, awesome. And on the flip side now, what would you say are the challenges you experience while doing what you do?
Visibility, first of all, not many people do this kind of work. And being a new person in the industry, getting your brand's name known,
True.
it has been a hassle.
Mm.
But I thank God that He has really sustained my brand, and He has really speeded up the process for me, because it takes others longer. For me,
True.
2 years. Look where I am. Yeah.
Okay, so now can you give us some of the tips to maintain such looks? I do understand with some of the products you use, it can be quite irritating for the skin because there's harsh, elements that are involved in the creative process. So now how do you make it more bearable for people who have very sensitive skin?
Moisturizers and how I apply the latex. I have different types of latexes. And it depends on the type of the skin, so I use according to the different clients. Yes.
Okay. And going into a day or starting the day, when you wake up, you just always assume that everything is going to work out okay, everything will be fine. But do you have one of those moments where you have to improvise? Like, could you give us an example of where you're working on somebody and something happens and now you have to change the whole look or just think on your feet in the moment?
Yes. I've had many instances that it has happened. Maybe you're trying to create, for example, a small wound, but you mess up a bit, so you have to color it and shade it in a different way so that it can look as realistic as possible. Yes, and also for my work, I have to be able to multitask, because sometimes I get models who are constantly moving. So you have to apply the makeup with them as they're moving. Yes.
Okay, that's really. I've seen those challenges with people on social media, especially when they're talking about difficulties with doing makeup on their clients and so forth. But speaking of working with models, doing what you do, you need to collaborate with a lot of people, and you need to be working, and your social skills have to be A1 because you're coordinating with a lot of people. So do you usually have brushes with people and you're like, that was very irritable, but you still have to be professional about it?
I don't think so. I'm a joyful person.
Yes. Joyous.
Yes. So I tend to work well with others. I tend to listen to people's opinions, because it's not only about me. As long as we execute the project as it's supposed to be. That's my only rule.
Yeah.
We need to execute it as planned.
Okay.
Yes.
And could you tell us what has been the highlight of your career so far?
Just getting platforms and getting people recognize me in events. That's everything for me.
Yeah.
That sitting back and seeing that people acknowledge my work and people really interact with it is everything. Yes.
Awesome. And do you have like a memorable event, like you're working on TV, because you do work with a lot of films and TV series. What are some of those moments that stuck out for you and you're like, you know what, I think I am on the right path?
For me, every booking, no matter how small or how big it is, it stands out for me because I can't believe it.
Yeah.
For me, it's a whole new journey every single day. It's like I'm re-experiencing the joy of my artistry over and over again. Yes.
Okay. And do not worry. I know we are talking about it and you're trying to envision exactly what is going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this a two-part episode where we have talked about it. You've heard the theory part of it. And then right about now, we're going to go into the physical part of it, or the practical side, where we're going to see exactly what she does. But before we do that, where can people catch you on socials? Do you have a physical location? And also your parting shot.
I don't have a physical location
Mhm.
at the moment, but I have a studio in Pangani. You can find me at Floria's Beauty, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, kila mahali. Yes, YouTube as well. Please subscribe.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. And right about now, we are going to see exactly how she creates this special effects makeup. So as we had promised you the practical aspect of our conversation, and this is the final look. So what exactly is this supposed to be? Because it looks very gory, it looks very scary. It doesn't help our music. Our muse has a woye face. So what exactly is going on here?
I stuck a can to her eye. She has been injured and it's sticking out. Maybe she fell on an open can and just...
Okay. There's even shrapnel and everything.
Yes.
Okay, so how long did it take you to accomplish this look?
I'm not sure. I think 30 minutes, if I'm not wrong.
30 minutes or more or less, we don't know. But either way, it's very impressive. It's very realistic. Our muse, do you feel any discomforts? Saidi. So as we are winding up, tell us your parting shot.
I'm happy to be here, and I think more people should embrace this type of makeup.
More creative.
More creative, more out there. We shouldn't only focus on glam and the normal day-to-day makeup. We should explore ourselves artistically.
True.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation, and I will also be doing that. So look out on my private social media. Look out for me. I'll probably come up with a can or two on my head, ghastly accident or something of this sort. Anyway, thank you for joining us for this conversation. If you have any question for Victorious, the number is 0770729366. But until then, see you next week.